Hello, my name is Terry Power. I would like to introduce you to our Balance for Health and Life seminar. But before I do, I want you to give yourselves a little bit of background onto where we're coming from. I personally am a second generation healthcare practitioner, a second generation chiropractor, osteopath, naturopath, acupuncturist. My father had his practice from our home since I was very little. And I used to see at home him practicing and helping people overcoming health problems of all sorts of kinds. He was very, very popular. And so I used to sit down in our TV room, and through an open archway was his waiting room. And people were watching our home television with us. He had a thriving practice, and I used to breathe this in and see him getting the results with people's health, which really inspired me. And ever since I was about 8 years of age, I wanted to do what he does. And so now I have a very, very busy practice. However, when I'm practicing, because it is so busy, because you're busy treating people, you're unlocking their health, you're unlocking their physical structure, you're getting their body working properly. There isn't a lot of time to actually properly educate them and teach them what they need to know in order to maintain their health, maintain the rewards they get from practice, and enhance the results that they get from practice. And therefore it became essential to develop a system or a method whereby we can teach people those things because they need to know. We don't want them just dependent on treatment for their symptom level. Yes, we do treat wellness. We do treat to keep people well. However, we want to empower them so that their health and their entire life grows with them. And therefore it is essential that we have a program that includes their mind and their emotions, that includes their physical body, not just their physical strength, your toning and your fitness, both aerobic and anaerobic, and your flexibility and your health potential, so that your ability to actually heal from whatever your malady is enhanced. We need a system whereby you can actually enhance your health, helping you to heal at all different levels. And all of a sudden, it's not just about healing what you've come to the clinic for. It is also about developing you as a person, to making the best life possible, to helping you to reach your potential and to unlock what you were here about, what is significant in your life. So you can have a true sense of well-being, lots of energy, and you can feel good doing the things that you're meant to be doing. In the past, I have taught many seminars. I have been the Australasian presenter for a particular allergy elimination technique. I've also travelled all through Australia teaching that technique, and I've also given other seminars across the world. So I have taught in Melbourne, Sydney, Gold Coast, Darwin, Central Australia, Perth. I've taught in London, in Bali, in New Zealand, in Japan. So I've done many sorts of seminars. However, what I wanted to do is bring these seminars, really focus the best of the best into some seminars or some products whereby people can learn the best out of all these fields. So because I'm so busy treating patients, I needed these seminars to help them. But I also needed it for personal reasons. You see, I grew up with a background of physical exercise and mental exercises. So as we're growing up as children, our parents instilled in us positive mind thoughts, positive emotions, because it's not just positive thinking that is important, it's positive feeling with that thinking. It's the ability to visualize and feel certain things. The trouble is that if you were to meditate how long we're meant to meditate every single day, if we're meant to visualize and we actually do that every single day, and we're meant to do the exercise every single day, how much is good for you, and we're meant to read and research and study and develop our minds, how much we're meant to do that, where's the time for our family and our work? We've run out of time. And I realised personally growing up that I liked these things. I liked the exercise and what it gave to me, how it made me feel, and how it made me able. I liked the visualization techniques that have been taught to us right through our whole life. But how to fit that in with a busy life of work and a busy life of family, where I've got 6 children, I was neglecting my physical exercises because it didn't fit in, and I didn't feel good about that. And I was not being a good, spokesperson, or a good model, or a good representative is a better word. I wasn't being a good representative of what I truly believed in. And so I personally needed a system whereby I could actually improve my physical body and help it to heal and rehabilitate. Not just its physical strength, because we need strength in muscles for them to not be too tight. We need strength to feel good. Not just its flexibility, because we do need an agility and a flexibility in our muscles and our joints and our ligaments and tendons and our spine and our body movements. Not just in our fitness, because we do need an aerobic fitness, because we want to keep the arteries clean. We want to keep the cardiovascular ability up. And we want to be able to do things physically for a sustained period of time if required. So we need a good aerobic but also good anaerobic capacity. And why not blend all these things into a simple system that you can do anywhere, anytime? A system that you can travel with you overseas, in a hotel room, in the corner of a room, anywhere. So we needed it fairly low tech. Now, personally, I like gyms. I think they're fabulous. They've got all the equipment under the sun. They've got the atmosphere, and you're amongst like-minded people who are also interested in the same thing. I think they're fabulous. However, for me personally, I couldn't fit it in. I couldn't rationalize finishing a long day in clinic and then going to the gym when I knew my family's at home wanting to do things and at least be exposed to my presence and interact with me. It didn't make sense to me to be at the gym when my dog needed walking. And in fact, I wanted a system that you could even do if you're out walking the dog. And over a number of years, I've developed that. And it works brilliantly. Not just for myself, but for my patients that I teach this system to. It is a really good, world-class system. And it's not just based on leading-edge, cutting science. I've researched the best that the advanced teachers have to offer in exercise physiology and exercise and visualization and meditation. I've looked at all that, but I've also borrowed from ancient knowledge. The ancient knowledge that has been really sustained and proved itself through the ages. I've borrowed from East cultures. East, whereby the traditional Eastern Oriental medicines, the ancient Chinese medicines and their philosophies, but also the West. And I've brought it together in such a way that you've got a system that does work. It helps to create a charge through you and around you that you can carry through your day. I personally am very deeply satisfied with what we've come up with. But one of my philosophies in life is to have it accessible. I don't like to put high prices on things that only a few can get to. I like to have something that's like gold that you can get for a smaller price. And that's what I like to do. Because it's just my basic philosophy that people can get access to this. Not just the elite people who are high income earners. And so we're making our seminars very reasonably priced. And we're looking at other ways of distributing this information that may be even more cost effective and beneficial for people. Now, I am a chiropractor. I've had a science degree majoring in anatomy, first up. I've worked for my father in clinic since I was 15 years of age. I used to work for him after school, doing the soft tissue work and prep work for his adjustments or his acupuncture or his interaction with them in whatever way that was needed. I've also worked for a number of other chiropractors while I was studying. And I then after my science degree, I got a postgraduate diploma in chiropractic, went on to do a postgraduate diploma in acupuncture, and then I did a master's degree in chiropractic. And then I've done further studies in traditional Chinese herbs, in kinesiology, nutrition and naturopathic studies. So I've been busy with a lot of study, a lot of applying and seeing what works in my clinic. And it's more than exercise and visualization. We need to know a few gems that work from the natural healthcare range. And ideally, we don't want just the high price items. We want the things, the real stuff that works, that isn't expensive. Now, yes, there's some things that we can get and use that are expensive. Anyone can use those. But we want to know those little gems that if we can incorporate them on a regular basis, that makes logical sense, then we can help to clean out our own arteries. We can rejuvenate our own body to help fight against the incoming aging process. Now, we're all aging, there's no doubts about it, but doesn't mean you need to succumb to it totally and fully. There's some intelligent things you can set in motion whereby you can age gracefully and actually push off that advanced aging. You can keep yourself flexible, you can keep yourself erect. So I've treated people who have come and been bent over and they thought they were just old and too old, and they're straightening up and they're feeling better than they have for years and years. And then other people who are in their late 70s and 80s and they look at their brother or their sister and how doddery they are, and they say to me, I know who's responsible for that. Now, really it was them, but they knew how to get what they needed out of me to help them. So these Balance for Health and Life seminars is all about that. It's activating your life, both mentally, activate your spirit and mind, your soul, your physical body and health and rejuvenation capacity, abilities. That is all there. Now, it doesn't matter what level you're at. If you're an elite athlete, you can learn and develop and use these techniques to your level. If you're in a wheelchair, you can learn and adapt the techniques that we're teaching you to your level and what you're doing. If you've got arthritic knees and joints and you've got cardiovascular disease and there's only so much that you can do, you can adapt it to your level. So when you come along to one of our seminars and you learn this, we will help you to adapt it to where you are at so that you can feel good. You can sustain your life and improve its longevity, and you get waves of senses of well-being when you apply this sort of information. Now, I've also had a background in sports. I've been brought up with parents who encouraged us with our sports. My father used to be a professional boxer and wrestler, and he's taught us that since we're very young. And although I did eventually have a few amateur fights, it kind of, as I was studying uni, it was sort of, even though I appreciate the self-defense, it was against my beliefs as far as looking after the nervous system was concerned. So I only had a few amateur fights before I thought, no, that's really against my basic philosophy. However, the training and the exercise and the discipline was superb. And we've done this all through our life. I also went to the World Championships trampolining, went to the Australian Championships for springboard and platform diving, and to the State Championships for gymnastics. I was an avid cross-country runner, and I guess, and we used to love surfing, of course, but not in any sort of competitive realm. So my background has always been some sort of physical activity. I've applied that through a science model, but an intuitive, ancient wisdom model. I've blended them all together, and I'd like to present them to you and them to become part of your life to benefit you. There's a lot of good here, so if you'd like to come along and learn these techniques and see what they can do for you, then I'd be very, very happy to meet you. Thank you very much.